This is the HBJ with HBJ TV. Today, we're in the kitchen of the house of Passarella, and we are going to give a shot at making pasta pomodoro. We are going to be missing the pecorino cheese. I do love pecorino cheese, but today I just don't have a taste for it on my pasta pomodoro. So, we are going to start by coming over to the pan. Let's turn the light on here. And we are going to put in extra virgin olive oil. Just bought some new today. Let's put some in the pan. Extra virgin olive oil. That should be good enough. Just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. We'll turn that up on a medium heat. Make sure it's a medium heat. You don't want to make it too hot, because the next thing we're going to do is I put in some garlic, some diced garlic. You don't want to burn the garlic. You just want it to get nice and warm, nice and cooked. We'll get the heat going a little bit, and then we'll throw that in there. We're also going to use some nice cherry tomatoes, some fresh basil, and the pasta I choose is DiCecco. To me, it's the best tasting pasta. It's the one I like the best. It's the lightest color. You get it at the grocery store here in Chicago. But we'll see what we got going. So now we're going to put in our garlic. I'm here by myself, videotaping myself, so you'll get it once it's inside. You can see it's starting to sizzle a little bit. Drop some on the floor. Don't want to get in trouble by the wife. Got to make sure I clean up after myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it around a little bit. You can put it in the presser. Some people prefer it in the presser. I just didn't feel like getting it out because I'm lazy today. Shout out to the reason why I'm lazy today. Penn State getting a first round win in the college football playoff this year against SMU. Very good game. Now moving the heat a little bit lower, between low and medium heat. We're going to add the cherry tomatoes. Hopefully Penn State can move on and kick some ass against Ashton Genty. Shut him down and move on to play the winner of Georgia and Notre Dame. Hopefully from that point we make it to the Final Four. But for right now, we're going to move these around a little bit. Get them all on the bottom of the pan. We're going to let it sit for a while. We're going to keep it on a medium to low heat again. Let them cook very slowly. The way I do things is I'm not going to even touch the water, not going to boil it, nothing, until the sauce is ready. The way I like to make my pastas is, first thing you do is you cook the sauce, you cook the pasta, pasta goes in the sauce, pasta goes in your mouth. Just the way I like to do things. So we're going to let that sit for a while, let them start to get soft. We're going to press them down, get the juices out. The next step will be putting them in my Ninja. Do a little blending. Put them back on a low heat until the pasta water is ready. Throw them in the pasta. Throw a little pasta water in the sauce. And we will serve. Hopefully you like what it looks like at the end. Let's take a pause until they get a little softer. We're back now. Just in a medium part of this. As you can see, the cherry tomatoes are starting to get a little softer. When they get to the point you want, you're going to be able to press down on the tomato, and it's just going to go right down, soft as can be, just like that one did. But these are fresh, so a lot of them are harder. Like this guy, you can't get it all the way down. But what you can do is stir them around, make sure they're all getting heat together. They're all dancing together. They're all enjoying their time in the spa, the sauna, the jacuzzi together. And you could see the juices starting to come out of them now. You could see the color starting to come out. Just keep pressing down, getting the juices out. Take another pause. Let them enjoy their time in the spa. And we'll come back and do it again. We're back again. You might hear on and off. I'm streaming the Clemson, Texas game. There's 5 minutes left in the game. And Texas is up 14. Let's see if this game will end up being exciting. Unlike the first two. Here we go back in the pan. You can see much more now. You can see the juices coming out. When we get to the point where there's a nice one. That's why you stir it around. You let the heat get to them evenly. Some of them, sorry, get some nice ones. They smash down like that guy there. We'll keep doing this for a while, pausing in and out, till we can get all of them smashed down before we put them in the Ninja. But our next step is, once they're starting to get smashed down really good, we're going to add some fresh basil, some salt and pepper, just for flavor. And then, like I said, you can see, look at all that juice coming out. It's some beautiful, beautiful juice. I know this isn't a time of the year that you'd like for ripe tomatoes. It's December. It's a week away from Christmas, not even. Christmas Eve's Tuesday. Right now it's Saturday. And but we do the best we can with what we got here in Chicago. So we'll take another pause, and then we'll come back and we'll finish the press process. Like I said, we'll add some fresh basil, and we'll add some, actually I'll add a little bit of salt now. I like to add a little salt and pepper. Not much, just a little bit of handful. You just sprinkle it in there. I don't want to add too much. Don't want to take too much of the taste out of there. But one thing I will do, let's see if we can't get a good thing here. I'm going to add some fresh ground pepper. The way I look at it is, you can never have too much pepper. We'll definitely add some more pepper later. But until later happens, take another break. Do a little bit more stirring, a little more pressing. It's starting to look nice. You can see the juices and the tomatoes dancing together. Okay, I've turned the heat on my water, hopefully to start getting into a boil. We're not going to add the sea salt until the water starts boiling, because from my understanding and from my limited knowledge cooking, that if you add it before, it changes the temperature of the water. You want to add it after it starts boiling, not before it starts boiling. That's just the way I do things. I've heard that from somebody who does cooking for a living, and I like it better that way. It's personal preference. As you can see, all the tomatoes are pressing nicely now. They're all going down. You can get all the juice out of them now. You could tell that it went from a bunch of beautiful fine cherry tomatoes to juice. Lots and lots of juice, and this is the way I like it. Technically, you don't need this many cherry tomatoes. This is just for myself. I love eating a lot of pasta. Pasta's good for you, especially if you're using fresh ingredients. So what we're gonna do now, turn down the heat dramatically, keep pressing these babies out, and once I got them all pressed out, which I'm pretty close to doing now, we put them in the blender. So let's see. Yeah, we're pretty good here. Let's pause it out again, because I'm filming this by myself. It ain't easy to do all this stuff at once. So pause it out while I put it in the blender. Or actually, I missed a step here. Don't want to miss a crucial step, the fresh basil. And the way I was taught to make this dish is you never chop the basil. You always break it with your hands. You always put it in there and turn down the heat even all the way down as far as it goes to low. And you just break it with your hands, because if you do it any other way, it takes away some of the flavor. Again, I'm just a dummy. Infantry iron worker. So I just take people's words for it that know, and on top of that, I tend to like that way of doing things. Works for me. So now the basil's in. You'll be able to get the aroma now. The aroma, I could smell it already in the house. Fresh basil cooking. Oh, there's nothing like it. Stir that in there. Make sure a couple extras that we miss just get pressed down. Now you get that aroma, that fresh basil. All right. Now you could take out the basil before you put it in to the Ninja, but I like to leave it in there. Just my preference. I like to leave it in there. Let's take a pause while we put it in the Ninja. Do a couple blends. Put it right back in the pan. Let it go on low heat until the pasta's ready. And then we play the game of swish swash, and then we eat. Okay, here we go. We got it in the Ninja, sitting in there. Now let's put the power on. I do pulse. You don't have to do it for that long, just a couple seconds, but I like to make sure that all my tomatoes are 3/4 blended. They don't have to be fully blended, but at least 3/4 blended. So, and that's all you need. Just that, nothing more. Just pull the top off. Ninja, you got the nice steam coming out. Knock off everything because I don't like wasting even a little bit. Put that in the sink, and then we put everything right back. As you can see, it's a nice consistency. It's beautiful consistency. Now I'm going to take a break while I take everything out of the Ninja, pour it in there with that, and once I'm ready to put in the pasta, we'll come back. We've switched the pans. I put the sauce on the lower burner, on the lowest heat, low, and I've took the big pan on the big burner with the high heat. That way we can cook it faster. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take some sea salt, and you take a nice handful right in the pasta water. So now this is going to go away. We no longer need the sea salt. Pepper we do need, because I'm a pepper guy, and I like pepper. We're going to use it again. And on the side of the box it says cook 10 to 12 minutes. So we're going to cook 11 minutes, of all of which we are going to have on pause, because we definitely don't want to sit for 12 minutes and ramble and mumble. But again, well, I like to use the whole thing. We're going to use the whole thing. And always listen to the box. The box says exactly what they recommend you cook it. You listen to the box. You like the nice light color of pasta. It's not dark. Darker color, the worse the pasta. So we're going to put it in. Let it spread out. Let it dance. Let it dance and have fun. Little rave party in the pasta water. As it quickly starts to cook, because it will, because it's the temperature of the water. We're just going to take our tongs. We're just going to stir it in there. But in 11 minutes, we're going to come back and finish our dish. Okay, we're back. So now our pasta's cooked. And the way I like to do things is I don't pour the water out. Actually, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a mug. We're going to get a full glass of pasta water. We're dunking in there just to make sure. Take the pasta water. We're going to set it over here for now. Set that up, and we're going to take our tongs and we're going to put the pasta directly from the pasta water into the sauce. That's the way I like to do it. Let it drip right into the sauce. We're going to do that with the entire amount of pasta. Once we got all our pasta in the pasta sauce, now it makes more sense as to why I use so many cherry tomatoes, is because I use so much pasta. If you don't use as much pasta, you don't need as many cherry tomatoes. I like to eat. So, before we mix it all together, I'm going to add a little bit more pepper now. We're going to add a little bit more pepper after it's mixed. I'm not going to make it dance. I'm not going to flip it because we're pretty full over here. So what I'm going to do is just twist it. Get the stuff on the bottom on the top and just roll it over. Bottom on top, we'll roll it over. And I'll grab the camera so you can get a better look as I'm doing it. You get the stuff on the bottom, roll it over, and you see all that beautiful, beautiful sauce. Beautiful sauce, and plenty of it. Just all over. Now you can make it dance. You could take your pan and flip it. But I think that's good enough. We got our pan, we got our sauce. Now it's time we plate. Actually, let's wait one. I'm going to add just a little bit of pasta water to the pasta. There we go. Because I want to make sure that the way I like it is the pasta sauce then won't be too thick. You have a little bit more of that salty taste. And everything actually comes out better. So now the next thing we're going to do, boy, that looks good. Set you up, put a little bit more pepper, because I'm a pepper freak, and I like pepper. Take this and put it away. As I do each step, I clean up after myself, because once I start eating, that's what I want to focus on. So we'll do a little bit more flipping. Flip her over, a little bit more flipping, flip her over. Grab our plate over here. Actually, we'll do it over the top. And you twist. But that's how you'd normally do it. You take it in the middle and you twist. But I'm hungry as shit. I love to eat. And I'm going to throw a ton on there and eat it. Some people like to put the pecorino on there. Wasn't in the mood for it today. There's already enough salt. I just don't want to add too much more. Next thing we do is some more fresh basil on top. And then we chow. So, got my fresh basil. Let's add a couple more leaves. Just because you can never use too much basil. Fresh basil's good. And then another thing you could do too is once you put the pasta in the pasta sauce from the pasta water, if you'd like, you could put a little bit more extra virgin olive oil. And that's just preference. Everybody does their own thing. But what's a cooking video if you don't try your own food? Manja manja, as my grandma used to say. Pasta Pomodoro, outstanding every time. If you like, try the pecorino. If not, it's beautiful the way it is. This is the HBJ, out.